They call me Squirrel.
What's going on, Squirrel Squad? How you doing? I am the Squirrel. And today I have, since the Isle of Man full lap was such a colossal failure thanks to, I don't know, Daisy Duke Advertising or whoever the heck they are. You know, you would think that when a person like me from another country who's never heard of this Isle of Man TT race learns about it through a reaction channel, my own, this happened to be this time, through suggestions from you folks, and then I turn around and put out a video about it, and I reach a bunch of my American friends who have never heard of this, who are now like, wow, this is amazing. You would think that they would want to let me react to it, especially when I say, I just want the block lifted. You can keep the money. I'm exposing people to your race. Oh well, sorry. I mean, you know, I enjoyed it. Thanks for letting me enjoy it, but I really would have liked to have shown a bunch more people. This is the a full lap, I suppose. I don't know. I'm not sure. But this is the 2016 Subaru WRX STI Isle of Man TT flat out. This was recommended to me by Malcolm. He said, hey, Squirrel, if you like the Isle of Man TT, you should watch him do it in the Subaru. Go check it out. So here I am. I'm here to check it out. So sit back, relax. It's a long one, but we're going to enjoy it together. All right, here we go.
Well, it's 2016, and this is our chance to drive the ProDrive built STI Subaru. Something we really dreamed about in 2011 when we started this project.
I think he's swerving to kind of scrape the tires and heat them up so they stick better. I think that's what that's for.
And this car is very special. We've got not massive amounts more horsepower, but the chassis is based around a World Rally car. We're lighter than before, and the gearbox is a sequential type paddle shift gearbox, and we're probably running about 1,200 kilos. So on this lap we're just starting our warm-up. We've got probably about 3 miles to get the tyres up to temperature, like we did in 2014, and me get my head ready to go for the run. The conditions at the moment are very warm, probably a little bit too warm for optimum performance in the engine. And this is actually our second time lap around the circuit, which was done on the Monday of TT week. Every time you go out, you're actually changing the setup of the car and just developing, because there's nowhere like the Isle of Man to test. And you can test on an airfield or a racetrack as much as you want, but there's nothing actually like the TT course.
See, it's a whole different experience watching this now, because I'm aware of the fact that they're in a car. So when he's slowing down before you would see the motorcycle slow down, it's because there's a lot more weight there. It's actually kind of weird, because on the motorcycle, I guess it's almost more surreal. The view is just what's coming at you. It's a tunnel, and it's so fast. And these guys, so far, I'm sure they're going to get up to much higher speeds. The speeds aren't as fast, and I think I'll be surprised if it gets to the same max speed, because I think that you got to always consider the weight and the slowdown time and things like that. But my thoughts on it, he kind of confirmed what I was saying. He's getting the tires up to temperature. They want them at a certain heat so that they're pliable and so they stick to the road better. Here we go.
So we're getting quite close now to the last few bends. I'm just getting the feel again of the car. As you can see, getting plenty of heat into the tyres. And looking forward with anticipation for the start of the run.
It's the warm-up period. He's getting the car
this
ready.
This part of the circuit is very slow now. We've got one tight hairpin right, and once we go around that, we're basically on our flying starting lap.
Whoa.
So here we go, we're now accelerating for the flying start, and we're just about to go across the start line.
Yeah!
Now.
Going over at $1.50.
We're on our lap.
Wow.
Famous part for me is Bray Hill. Up to 170 miles an hour now, which is definitely faster than before. And again, building confidence through that, and that dip on the side does move the car around quite a bit, so we can't take that flat yet. First big braking point. All the way down to second gear. Bit of oversteer there. Tyres probably a little bit cool. And one feature we got for this car, which makes it a little bit more interesting, is we've got DRS like a Formula 1 car. Now you'll actually see when the red light comes on, that's when we're activating it. And the more confident I got with the car, the more I could actually use the DRS to give us more top speed and reduce the drag. Flat out now all the way to Union Mills. And this car was just a total pleasure to drive. You can carry a lot more corner speed. That's where we're getting our time. We're not actually going that much faster in terms of top speed, but we're getting to that top speed a lot faster. Lovely section through there, little bump on the inside. And now it gets really fast all the way to Greba. The only corner in the middle of that is Ballagary, or Ballascary, as we all name it. So again, getting up to 170 quite quickly. Little lift here and then tip it in. And because the car is so much faster everywhere, I can actually build up every lap I get out, and I was hoping for another lap. And there's a few places where we could have edged a little bit more time, just with confidence in the car. You've got two chances of a TT course. If you take it flat and it's not, you're in a lot of trouble. So you've actually got to build up to see what the car or the bike will actually do on those corners. And that just comes with time and experience. Flat out now, we've got a little jump. And we've got to be careful because at 170 miles an hour, that car potentially could fly. So we're unsure what it's going to do over the jumps. So you've got to be a little bit wary when you're getting up to those speeds. Greba Castle down just one gear. Trying to get on the power, committed and nice and early.
Wow. Damn.
And the way this car changes direction is really, really great.
See, the motorcycle, it's like watching a bullet train. Like, you're in the front driving the bullet train. That's what I talked about earlier. Like, it's that, like, you're one man on two wheels and everything in front of you is wide open. With the car, there's a dashboard. There's, like, a window that you look through for what you can see. And obviously, yes, I know, advantages, disadvantages, but it's just a different view. But it's a view that I'm used to. I'm used to seeing this view as I drive for a living and I drive around day to day, just like everyone else. And so the realism of 170 miles an hour, knowing how I drive, the speeds I drive at, is so much more real than the motorcycle, which I don't currently drive a motorcycle, and the view is different, I think, which also screws with me. The motorcycle is actually absolutely terrifying. One mistake and you're done. This is like more realistic to my brain, is all I'm saying. Motorcycle, obviously, way more dangerous. You wipe out, you're pretty much screwed. I mean, I know some people miraculously survive. Inside a car with roll cages and everything, I think you'd have a better chance. But still, at these speeds, I think your chance is crazy. I want to point out there's a G-force meter down here next to the RPMs. I think that's amazing.
The car sort of feels like part of me. You think it round the corner rather than actually steering it round the corner. And as you can hear, you can get and commit on the power quite quickly. We're very fast now, all the way to our next point, which is Ballacrane. So heavy braking all the way down into third. On the power early.
This is insane.
The corner there, you've got to get right in on the inside.
Insane.
And now we get on to what is quite a good section for the car because it's there's quite a lot of corners, so we can gain a little bit time with our corner speed through this lot, all the way to Glen Helen. Late apex. And one thing I've struggled with a little bit in 2014 was the gap between gear 5 and gear 6. The ratios and the engine power seem to really help this car, so I'm gaining a lot of time just in that upper end of the gearbox.
Another big difference too, when you're watching this, you're not, the camera angle isn't. I notice I'm not tilting back and forth because the camera doesn't tilt back and forth because the car stays level. So totally different experience in that aspect as well.
I'm changing gear with a paddle on the right hand side. Pull it back to go up the gears and push it away to go down, and it's a 6-speed gearbox with a very fast change. Coming up to Sarah's cottage, a very big climb, you can't really see it on the TV. Difficult corner that, and now you start building power all the way up the hill again to get onto the next section.
The helicopter.
Helicopter always comes into sight here, you can see that above.
Yep. I was gonna say, I think it's always that same part they come out in at the top of the hill where the helicopter's always waiting. So, and then he confirmed that. So that's like the point where it picks them up. Not literally picking them up.
What a scary corner at the end. Just tips it in right. There's a bump on the inside for us there. Just coming down now. Got to be a little bit careful. We've got a flag being waved for loss of adhesion. There's been a bike off and hit the barrier on the right, so they've had the oil flags out. As you can see, the dust on the right and the bike's still parked there. Come up to the walls now, drop it down 1 gear, and I think we dropped it down 2 gears last time in 2014. And now flat out all the way to the top of the Garrow. I really do like this section, and especially in this car.
Come back down now. Pay attention to the elevation across the top there. You can see where he's going down, because as he said, it's hard to see on the camera.
Curb jets out, and then you've got the compression at the bottom of the Garrow, and you get a real good thump going through here. I think the camera even moved at that point. Tricky bend now, double apex right.
Yeah.
Flat left and then a double apex left.
Sharp ones.
Now coming into Kurt Michael. Always great through here. And using the yellow lines, you can see the impression of speed you get with the proximity of the houses is really impressive.
Oh,
so I'm moving around quite a bit there. Look how close people are on the left.
Yeah. Both sides.
Gotta get the car straight just before it goes over the jump. And now really fast all the way down to the famous jump at Ballath.
It's got a good flat for a while, then he's going to hit a huge uphill.
170 miles an hour, these corners
huge
are really nice.
Uphill.
Just nick a bit of curb on the left hand side on the next one. As you can hear from this car, it does sound amazing, and it's also revving quite a lot higher than the previous car. We're up to about 8,500 RPM, which is quite a lot for a turbo engine.
Wow.
And we can't jump it too high here because of the bodywork.
Because there's a house right there, you don't want to go flying through the friggin' house.
On the car. But you're losing time in the air anyway, so as soon as she's back on the ground, back on the power and flat out, all the way to Ballacry. This next corner feels really good. It's a flat out left-hander. Car takes off. And then we tip it into quarry bends, which is a series of right, left, right. Car pulling quite good G there. Nice change of direction, and that's something this car does so much better than the production-based car as well. Now, although we've got a little bit more power than before and a massively better chassis, you could still afford to have a little bit more top speed here, which would bring us a little bit closer to the bikes. They're topping out at just under 200 miles an hour, and as you can see, we're just getting just over 170. Braking down here at Sulby, feels like you're doing 2 miles an hour, so you've got to be really careful to get the apex. Bit of oversteer on the outside of the corner. And now we get into the bumpy section from Ginger Hall all the way to Ramsey. Got bouncing around quite a bit.
When you go to buy a house on the Isle of Man, do you consider, am I on the racetrack or not? And I suppose you would, because some people want to be on the racetrack, like, holy shit, this house is for sale and it's on the track. I can sit in my front lawn and watch the race. That's awesome. And other people are like, probably can't be bothered, like, oh, that's a nuisance. That's going to be a pain in my ass. And I'm not going to be able to leave the house, go to, I was going to say Walmart. Isle of Man has Walmart. I don't know, maybe they do. So let's say it's the Isle of Man, the Isle of Walmart. So I want to go to the Isle of Walmart, and the race is screwing me up. Just wonder how that goes. Are they worth more money? They got to be worth more money. Got to be.
Bit of a kick on the bump there. That was quite nasty, and for the bikes, they must have a hell of a hard time hanging on all the way through here.
He's in zone minutes, too. Look at the heart rate. He's burning fat, just driving.
Back up to 170 again.
Whipping through. Wow.
Chuck her into the left. Bang on the power early. Coming up now is the Conker Tree, which jits out a little bit on the left. And then we've got a nice series of a right, left, and a right. And heading towards Ramsey.
He knows every turn. You have to. You have to know it all.
Car moving around a little bit there. Still good corner speed. This next corner's great. Small jump. And then flat out straight into the next right-hander. We've got the famous Ramsey bus stop, which we run a little bit wide into around this left. And then real hard braking all the way down into second gear for Ramsey Parliament Square.
That's all right. Couldn't tell there.
A little bit of oversteer, but not too much. Always feels great going sideways, but unfortunately it's not great for the lap time.
Yeah.
Now the climb starts. Drop the curb on the inside.
Man.
And now into
between the shadows and all the squish bugs, it's getting tough to see.
First gear around the Ramsey hairpin. Now the heat had just
Fast
started to give us a little bit of
going.
understeer with the car. On our very first run, we had an oversteer balance. We changed it for this lap and probably went a little bit too much the other way. So there was a little bit more time to come from the balance.
151 beats per minute on the heart. Burning fat,
really
buddy.
Now going all the way up to the gooseneck.
There we go. Going uphill now, folks. Tough to tell on the camera, but it's uphill. Look at this. Steep right here. Oh yeah, buddy.
Big bit of understeer there. Push to the outside. And had to come out of the gas quite early.
Wow. Wow, he's flying up that hill. Trying to look around the
even
corner.
climbing up the mountain, really happy with our speed. And that was definitely an area we could gain on the previous attempts. You can see how much quicker this car accelerates from the 120 right the way through to 170.
Holy smokes. There's the bird. There it is. Chopper's ready. The Red Bull stand.
Left right-hander before we have a bit of a break on the...
No surprise, Red Bull's part of this event. I used to sell Red Bull. I know all about that model, that company. This is perfect for them.
Mountain mile.
Wow.
Always see the helicopter at this point. You can see it
Yep.
on there on the right. And the nature of the course, as you can see all the way around, is rights and lefts, rights and lefts. And then there's probably about 5 big right-handers that link it to make it a lap.
Hauling ass.
So the tyres aren't really getting mega warm. There's no big loads, and it's always very, very high-speed corners. A lot of people comment that a bike is always not quite as fast as a car around a race circuit, but the Isle of Man is different to most race circuits because of the speed and the lack of tight corners.
Yeah.
At the top of the mountain mile, big long left, right, left. And now we start dropping downhill a little bit towards our next sort of time point, which will be the bungalow. Big long right-hander. Had a little lift there. That's where Connor had his big accident a few years ago.
Wow, man, this car is just
You
going
can see the
all out.
windscreen is starting to get quite covered with flies. Wasn't too bad at this time of day, but I didn't want to risk trying the wipers because it could actually make it worse, so you're better just to get on with it and ignore it.
Yeah, pretty much you don't want to smear it, right? Ugh.
Had a
There you
great
go.
board up there, somebody showing P1. We were the only car on the circuit, so I thought that was quite funny. Nasty left. Don't really like that corner.
Yeah, no, that corner sucks. The big drop on the,
And now
on
we're
the
heading
right-hand
all the way
side
down
there.
for the last sort of sector of the lap. Real nice feeling on these 3 left-hand corners. 1, 2, bang. And you pretty well take it all as one. Windy corner, up a gear from last time. 5th gear. And again, just picking a bit of understeer, we just run wide and just get the wheel on the grass there.
Yeah, I can see
There's no
that.
drama.
Thought he was on there. That's crazy taking a corner in 5th, huh? Wow.
Very difficult to get the car pulled across to the right-hand side before the next left. Because you're travelling so fast. That's 170. And you definitely don't want to get that one wrong.
Yeah, I know. A lot of downhill now, folks.
Next is Kate's Cottage. Car moves around a bit there. And now flat out down to the Cregna Bar. Loads of people around watching.
Yeah, loads, right. Oh, it's so
And you know
scary,
it's going well when
man.
people are waving, which definitely helps.
Yeah.
Around the Craig. And now really fast down to Brandish, which is the big long left-hander.
Flying downhill, look at that. Look at the slope, the elevation. Coming down fast.
Getting back up at 170, 175 there. I should have put the wheel on the grass, but I'm not sure if it's the best way. You might be better keeping it all on the tarmac, because it does move the car around. Hilbury, big bump on the inside. Car moves about a bit there. And now coming all the way around to signpost. Get a real good buzz on these 3 lefts. You can see the car moving quite a lot and a load of steering input there.
Crazy drifting.
You can't mess up now. We've had quite a good lap. And I've got split times coming to me and I know it's looking pretty good. And in all fairness, my last sector was probably my worst, so there was a bit more time to come out of that.
She's going
Really
up
hard
on
to
a
see the
little
turning
bit.
point.
He's going to go over now and start coming back down again for
And
the
got
end.
real tight
Right here.
right-hander. Gives me a chance to give the handbrake a little pull.
That screwed me up the last time he did it on the warm-up. That was weird.
DRS wide open again.
There you go.
And here we go for the line.
Hit it.
And there we have it, lap around in 2016 at an average speed of 128.7 miles an hour.
Wow. 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 That was really, really friggin' cool. I don't know. I hope you enjoyed that. I love that. That was awesome. I I don't know, like in a car, so different. You know, those guys on bikes are nuts. Still nuts to be in a car though. Wow, that's just crazy. That speed, watching that, oh, the turbo kick in. Oh, totally, totally cool. Thanks so much, Subaru, for posting this up for us to enjoy. I hope you enjoyed the commentary and reaction for this video. Thank you again, Subaru. That was really, really cool. I love those commentary videos. The heart rate and the breaths per minute and the G-force. So cool that all that's on the screen too. It makes it such a better experience to kind of watch and kind of see what their body was experiencing, you know? Really, really cool. Thanks so much, folks. I appreciate you being here. I am the Squirrel, and I thank you all very, very much for spending some time with me. Please, by all means, enjoy yourself and have a great day. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. The Isle of TT, Isle of Man TT. Kick ass. Isle of TT. What the hell's wrong with me?